Time to find out what's going on at the screening room. I'm joined by Jordan Richards. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me again.
Okay.
It was so much fun last time. So.
It was.
Yeah.
So what's happening? What's happening at the screening room?
December's coming. Mm-hmm. So while we do play new movies, we also like to revive movies, some old classics. And generally, we kind of theme it out. We had spooky, scary stuff in October. So with December coming up, we have a pretty full lineup of classic Christmas movies and a couple unconventional ones. So we'll be showing Elf, obviously with Will Ferrell, which last year was by far the most requested private rental movie. So we figured there's a lot of interest in that. We're also going to show Home Alone. And the more unconventional picks are Die Hard and The Apartment. And I'm really excited about The Apartment because I haven't seen it in a really long time. But that's obviously the classic Billy Wilder movie, little Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine. And we're kind of booking it on a technicality because while it is Christmas, it's set on Christmas, but maybe not necessarily a Christmas movie. But we've got peppering out, we've got all of those classic Christmas stuff because award season is about to start, and that's going to dominate, I think, most of our programming going forward.
Okay, and also I noticed you're going to be showing Killers of the
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Right, and that one because it's been in the mainstream theaters.
Sure.
So I purposely didn't go
great,
I could go to see it at the screening room.
We're hoping that it'll open sometime in December.
Apparently it is, yes.
Because just based off of just a little breakdown of kind of how our process works, we get movies second run. That's just, we've really done a lot, and then a movie I'll talk about in a bit, we are going to have the exclusive showing of that we're very excited about. But just sort of based on how it works, with really big studio releases, multiplexes get first run, and then we get second run. So it's sort of, once it's kind of had its run in the sun there, we come and we show it to a completely different audience. And we've noticed, too, that a lot of the times, movies, even if they don't come for quite some time, we just got Barbie. We got Barbie a week ago. We are having great turnouts for Barbie. So we're always, deep down we wish we could open them a lot of the time. We wish we could go toe-to-toe and just really see, the interest that people have in movies because, we're very lucky to have such a loyal audience that will wait. Where Killers of the Flower Moon is coming hopefully soon. That's obviously Martin Scorsese's new movie. DiCaprio, De Niro, might have heard of him. Tells the story of a indigenous group in
Oklahoma.
Yeah. And a sort of a really kind of shocking and brutal movie that goes into detail of just how exactly those people were treated, because the setup of it is that it was a land that they
they were repositioned on the land, and
it was land that nobody wanted.
And 2 years later they discover oil.
Yeah.
So the Osage Nation became the wealthiest people in the whole U.S. This was in 1920s, I believe. 1920s, yeah. I read the book.
Oh yeah, I've actually started it. It's fantastic.
I finished the book, and but they were given guardians because it was assumed they couldn't possibly handle all this themselves, and through a series of calculated murders, they were slowly getting rid of people so that they would marry in. They would marry someone not indigenous, and they would inherit all their money. And so this was and there were numerous deaths.
Yeah, and even once they had married, though, there were more calculated murders. Like it wasn't just murders to set up these sort of matrimony situations. It was once that had been done, once the paperwork had been filed, once we are, holy matrimony, whatever. The intention now was, okay, how do I make it just mine?
Exactly. And it didn't happen once, twice. It happened numerous times. And the book was written by a reporter, so it's not a novel type. It's very just the facts, ma'am kind
Yeah.
of book. And so, but you know the research is dead on, and no pun intended. But the book is shocking. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
the movie and to keep reminding yourself this really did happen.
Yeah, and what's
It
really
did
interesting too,
happen.
just based off of how much of the book I've read, the book is very sort of procedural, and the two main characters, played by both De Niro and Pacino, De Niro and DiCaprio. There's too many EOs. They are sort of, they're not necessarily footnotes in the book, but they aren't sort of flushed out in, because it's really from the perspective of the FBI agent who Jesse Plemons plays in the movie. But the film really goes and really dives into just sort of the emotional processes of what exactly they're doing. And sort of, it really follows on both DiCaprio and Lily Gladstone's relationship as husband and wife, and kind of puts forth these really complicated ideas of what it means to say that you love someone while sort of, negotiating and really having this nefarious intention, as opposed to just what I imagine you would think going into a marriage, just a healthy relationship. Like, it's not.
Right, it's not. It is not. And it also has, the book has a lot to do with the beginnings of the FBI.
Yes.
When J. Edgar Hoover was a young pup, basically, and this was the case that really gave birth to the FBI. So that was the other important part about it. But so, okay, back to classic movies. Classic Christmas movies. To me, a classic Christmas movie is like White Christmas with Bing Crosby.
Yes.
But Elf, come on.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Elf is turning 20 this year.
Oh, is it really?
Elf came out in 2003. I didn't want to be that guy. But one of the big things, I guess I should have mentioned that, one of the biggest draws for it is that it is the 20th anniversary of Elf. I believe last week would have officially been, I think it came out in November 2003. But we all collectively had that moment when we were coming out with, like, what should we show this year? And there was just this, like, quiet silence of just, so Elf is 20.
Elf is 20.
Good, great.
Oh.
But so, to a people who have, grew up with that movie, they're now in their mid-20s, early 30s, and they're starting to show that movie to their kids. Like, we're starting to see that too. Like, when we were renting it out and showing that movie privately, we would have people like, I really want to show my kids my favorite Christmas movie, which was Elf. So now that it's sort of had that shelf line, I guess it counts as a classic.
I guess. I guess. What's your favorite?
My favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Ooh. This is like such a snobby pick. There's a movie called Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. It's a Japanese movie, but it stars David Bowie. And it is one of the most, I won't go super into details because I don't want to, it is a much more, it's about a prison internment camp in Japan and sort of the British soldiers but
Merry Christmas to
you. No,
too.
I'm not the best, You got the guy from the screen room to be like, well, actually, the Christmas movie I enjoy. But a guilty pleasure of mine is the movie Jingle All the Way.
Okay.
Which I do sort of enjoy because of how bad it is. It is the idea that in the 90s they thought, who can do comedy? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
His timing is actually...
It's incredible. It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't have ever happened.
No.
But no, that's probably, genuinely probably my favorite Christmas movie.
Okay, good to know. So then you're moving into the winter months. Is that a busy time in the screening room?
Yes.
More so? I would say so.
So basically for us, we're kind of the inverse of a multiplex, where the biggest season for multiplexes are summer blockbusters. We don't tend to show a lot of those. So our biggest season is when Oscar season sort of starts to approach. So we're at the point now where the contenders, although there aren't official nominees yet, but as far as media narratives go, the contenders are starting to emerge. So movies like Killers of the Flower Moon, or another big one that we are going to be the only theater in Kingston showing December 8th is Maestro. Maestro stars Bradley Cooper and Carey Mulligan. It's also directed by him, and it's a Leonard Bernstein biopic.
Oh, that would be so interesting.
It looks incredible.
And that's coming up for awards as well, you
I
think?
would imagine so.
Wow, that's good to
like I
know.
said, we don't really know, but going based, you sort of base it off of what happened at the festivals. Are
Right.
they a darling? Obviously, Bradley Cooper's coming off of Star is Born,
Right.
which was a huge Oscar movie.
Absolutely, and I
And
mean,
movies about people are always...
he could stand there and read a phone book, and I'd be happy.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, really.
And he's also like a very good director.
Oh, good to
He
know.
like, you know, sometimes it sort of gets into vanity project territory. Star is Born is a very beautifully crafted movie.
It's a nice movie. It's
Yeah.
a nice movie, and you know, and it's what, the 5th time around for it or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's Judy, Barbara, Gaga.
That's right. Yeah, so not the first time. You know how it ends.
Yes.
However.
Yeah.
Anyway, if somebody wants to take an afternoon or an evening and go to the movies, where do they find the screening room?
You can find us a couple places. Obviously, 120 Princess Street, the actual physical building. ScreeningRoomKingston.com. That's probably our. That'll have a full breakdown of all of our showtimes, upcoming stuff where we regularly update it a couple times a week, and we also have a fairly strong social media presence. So our
All right.
Instagram will keep you up to date. Same with our Facebook page.
Sounds good. Listen, have a great Christmas.
Yeah, you too. Thank
All
you.
right.